Hi, Deanne here. How are you going? I had a wonderful session today. I'm being coached myself. Most people who are in this industry do that. And it was discussed about epigenetics was raised, which I've worked with before, and I'm sure I've mentioned to you guys, but I wanted to bring it up again because we're definitely seeing a lot of patterns in our behaviors lately. For those who don't know, epigenetics means over genetics. So we have our DNA, which has all of our physical attributes and all those sorts of things. But as well as the physical attributes, our DNA carries a field of information. And that field of information is the epigenetics. So this is the stuff that is carried down through generations, a bit like animals' instincts. There's traumas that our ancestors have been through, and there's beliefs that they've picked up from those, which are carried in our DNA too. And we end up acting out on these things that aren't even necessarily ours. I'll give you an example with my family. There's been a very strong work ethic, like you have to work hard to achieve anything. And my father and my sister and my mother, they've all been hard workers and they've all got something to show for it. They've got beautiful homes, things that they like and want. And so that's been reinforced that that is indeed what you have to do. But what I'm learning is you don't. You don't have to work your butt off. You don't have to spend your life working so hard that you don't have time to enjoy what you've created. And if we look around us, there's plenty of people who are successful that have done very little to earn that have got lots of stuff and lots of things. And that's not to say that they didn't earn it, some maybe not, but how the world works now is that you're rewarded for the value of what you offer, not how hard you work. The value of it. So if you are in a job where you don't feel so valued, that's going to impact you and you're going to have to work harder to get what you want. If you bring something of value to people, then you can actually work for yourself and get all the profits from that. And depending on how much it is valued by the other person is how much you can make from it. So money is often seen as energy, or sometimes it's even bad. Money's evil. But what it actually is a measurement, and it's a measurement of value. That's it. That's it. And whoever has worked for their money, they've given something of value for what they've earned. And when they spend it, they're spending it on something of value. So we really need to get out of that money is bad for a start. Other things that might be passed down through generations is beliefs we're not good enough, or depression, alcoholism, and all these things can actually be reversed. That's the beauty of epigenetics. It's not like your DNA, your physical attributes, where you can't change much unless you like dye your hair or whatever. But epigenetics, the trauma and the beliefs and everything else, they can in fact be reversed. They can in fact be changed. There's a few ways you can do that, and one of the ways is by changing your environment, which is a bit difficult, but if you're surrounding yourself with people who reinforce that, or if you're in a situation where you're just seeing it every day, you can change your environment. You can change how you act on things. So what happens with beliefs in particular is we have the belief, which creates a thought. We have a thought, which creates a feeling, which we act on, and that usually reinforces our belief. And there's this circle. So if you change any one of those things, if you change the thought from the belief, if you change the emotion, like if you had that thought and you think, okay, I'm thinking that way again, I'm going to feel this instead. Or if you change the action from the emotion, if you recognize you have this feeling, like, okay, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do this now, you can break that pattern. It can be done. Other ways, of course, is to see people to help you with that, which I can do. I just wanted to mention that because I think particularly in times like ones we're in now, where it's kind of a fight for survival, we tend to go back to our basics and forget a lot of stuff because you're just fighting for food and shelter and you're just looking for all the basic stuff, the simple needs, well, not simple needs, the essential needs in our life. So maybe have a look at the family patterns and catch yourself out if you're doing that. And if you are the one to change it, the future generation will no longer have that epigenetic. They'll have different beliefs. So it's really, really powerful for the future generations too. And even if they are born and the DNA has been passed on already, they'll see the change in you. My son has seen me change phenomenally. So he knows pretty much anything is possible. He knows that change is possible because he's seen it. So it's so important that we actually do have a look at ourselves and how we're leading by example for our future generations also. If you have done some work through this, I'd love for you to share too. Let me know what you've changed about yourself in respect to patterns that you've seen. And if you do need help, reach out. I'm here.